Well, we are done, completely done. This is the end of artist. With AI there's no room for us in this world. Like how we do expect to even compete when AI does this flawless, full of meaning and beautiful images in just 5 minutes. It's so much better than us that we take 6 weeks and 7 minutes to even finish the sketch of a portrait, as everyone knows. So I think it's time to cancel the contract that we had with the circle of wizards to gatekeep art, preventing people from picking up a pencil and a paper. Alright, now jokes aside, what are we doing? At what point some people started to think that this is better than this, just because one took longer than the other? Like, I'm not saying that this is not impressive for a machine, but I think that it has a lot of problems, and some of those problems cannot be solved. Now, what is impressive is how the CEO of these AI companies are not in jail after so much stealing. But leaving that aside, I always like to consider myself as a curious person. I enjoy testing things and playing around. And even though I think that AI will never be able to replace artists, I decided to put myself on the front and find out if there is a possibility that AI is better than us. So, here's the challenge. We will make a character design and whoever has the best design wins. Simple. And I'm choosing design because it's a necessary basic skill that you need as an artist. If your design is poor, your art will be generic and boring. Here are the rules. I will ask a friend to give me a prompt for a character design. As soon as I get the prompt, I will start drawing and I have to finish as fast as I can. Obviously no references, because it takes time to gather them. After finishing my design, I go to ChatGPT and I give the exact same prompt, and then we compare. Starting with my design, the first thing for me was identifying the key elements for this character and how to display them in an interesting, harmonious way. In this case we have two elements, demigod of time and gambling addiction. My way to communicate that was, first, for the part of gambling addiction, I made him skinny and with bad face, to showcase that maybe he doesn't take care of himself. And that, combined with the cigar and the glass of whiskey, let us perceive that he is prone to addictions and he doesn't take care of himself. Combining the fact that we relate cigars and whiskey with poker and casinos. Also, to reinforce that idea, I dress him with an elegant type of clothes that someone would wear in a casino. And to confirm all the suspicions, in his hand has poker cards and some casino chips. For the demigod of time part, I made sure to showcase some type of power with time theme, like the big halo on top of his head that looks like a clock, or the tattoos that also have clock and hourglass symbols, that look like they are coming from the eye, that is like it fits power into those. Now in terms of color design, I decided to put all this semi-godly stuff in a glowy yellow, because that's the color that we associate as divine. For the other colors, if you pay attention, these are the colors that you see in a casino: red, black, white and brown. And here is the final result. Obviously there is more in this design, but I think I explained the most important things. As you can see, my time on this was 1 hour and 29 minutes. I think it's a decent time for improvising all of this, but the lack of references is something that I noticed. For example, in the colors for a casino, I didn't put green, which wouldn't have happened if I had references. Time to see what the most advanced model of AI can do against a design that I have done with no time, without references, and without time to think. So, I took the prompt, I specified that I wanted a character design full body shot with a stylized style because that's my style. I pressed enter and, as I expected, a flashy first look and nothing more. Again, this is impressive for a machine, but unacceptable in a professional setting. Just works for brainless scrollers that doesn't pay attention. I mean, it's the first time that I see two dices with two 4s in my life. Or the fact that this character has 5 fingers in one hand, in the other has 4, and the feet have 4. Or the cards that have the same symbol in the corners, so it's harder for you to play when you have more than 5 cards. And let's not even start with the confusion that AI has with the hair and the crown, or the inconsistencies with the shading. And if you are wondering why I'm being so harsh here, it's because yes, AI has made this on 5 minutes, but that's it. This is the best you get. Doesn't matter how many times you try to fix all these mistakes with AI, you will not be able to do it. And possibly it will get worse. The only way to fix those is to have art skills, so you don't mess it up and start repainting by hand. In contrary, mine had more time, but I can always polish it more, make it better, which is necessary in the art industry. But we are not here for who polish something faster, because if it's about polish, I would have added an extra hour and I would have had a much better polish than this crap. This challenge was about something more important. It's about design. And remember all the explanation that I did with my design? Well, here you have a generic Roman Greek looking guy with a clock in his belt, which is the most interesting thing that happens here, an hourglass, 3 aces, and 3 giant dices that fly around. That's it. Like, this guy is supposed to be a gambling addict and a demigod of time. If you see my character, you can deduce things. And the more you look, the more you discover. It's interesting to look at. If you see the AI one, if you look more than 5 seconds, you will see that the center of his chest is misplaced. And some people think that this is good because they are not used to look at things more than 3 seconds. But they forget that when you design a character, for example, video game, you cannot make this rendering or design mistakes, because the people will look at those characters for more than 3 seconds. So at this point, I got pissed off. Like, I had low expectations about AI, but somehow disappointed me. So to give another opportunity, I made 4 more images, changing sometimes the style input. And this is what I get. The same boring design with some slight changes, and somehow this 4 had more mistakes than the first one. Like, I'm not going to point out all the mistakes because I don't want to edit 3-hour-long videos. But feel free to stop the video and see for yourself. I could end the video here, and you would agree that I won. But I know that there are some people that will not understand what I have been explaining all this time. And because something looks shiny, they think it's better. So I decided to do one last thing before going. I allowed myself to spend an entire day to do a character design, because I think waiting one day instead of 5 minutes for a product to arrive is very reasonable. Even more when the quality of the product depends on it. Like, I think everyone prefers waiting one day for having a very good PC that looks amazing, it is customizable and can be upgraded, than waiting 5 minutes for a PC that it has a lot of issues, has a cheap case and cannot be upgraded, but has very nice gaming RGB lights. So, let's do this quick because I don't want to waste any more time. I started gathering references, and after giving myself time to think, I started sketching some quick concepts. I chose one and developed it to a finer drawing. After that, I started to clean up the line and started painting. And here you can start seeing how this will end. Like, if AI cannot keep up with me, that I'm a nobody, a low intermediate level artist at best, let's not even talk about people like TV Choi in the character design space, or maybe Hicham Hapchi with these cool and sharp designs, or in the space of splash arts, we have Suke, for example, who makes the iconic Valorant art style. Even we can talk about Ruan Jia with his insane art style that is so recognizable. Like, look at this! Do you think AI can do something like this? The worst thing that you can do with AI is zoom in, and the best thing you can do with Ruan Jia is zoom in. Anyway, here is the final result of my character design in less than a day. Well, I think there's nothing more to say. I invite you to stop the video if you want and enjoy the character design. Try to discover yourself. If you want some hints, here you have the reference sheet again. And I think you can start seeing some big difference here. For example, how with the same prompt I made two completely different things. An AI after 5 tries has done the same boring generic thing. And that's because AI doesn't learn like a human and doesn't work like a human. AI sees patterns and work by percentages. Us humans work with reasoning, learning, experiences and emotions. And if you don't believe me, I have a cute little experiment for you. Shout out to Andres Riednik. I don't know him, but I saw a short of him making an experiment, so I also did it to see if it's true. I copied an image of an illusion where you see gray squares in the intersections, but they are not there. The twist here is that I painted the squares myself, so now they are there. Everyone can see the squares I painted. A 3-year-old can see that. Well, I uploaded the image to ChatGPT and asked if there are gray squares. Do you think that AI will notice? No, of course not. Do you know why? Because it doesn't reason. It doesn't learn. The only thing that does is work on patterns and probability to try to give the correct result. Nothing more. So if an AI cannot solve something so simple, what makes you think that will understand when you ask it for a design? So I could end the video here, but still there's something that is left to do. AI would need help from artists for having a better design. So how about I help it by putting a similar description of my second design to see if finally does something better than me. So I wrote this description and it gave me this. This time is not that boring because of me and my previous design work, but it's still very weak and lame. But the funny thing here is that because the prompt is more complex, the AI has made more mistakes, and the only way to fix all this is by painting, by hand, with an actual art knowledge. And before fixing all these mistakes, I prefer to erase everything and do it myself. And again, faster doesn't mean better. There is beauty in taking time and effort on doing something. For me, it's surprising how much people are praying for the downfall of artists, and it's sad to see because I realized something. There is a phrase in the video where Miyazaki condemns AI. We humans are losing faith on ourselves, and I think it's true. It's impressive how much people think that they cannot learn to draw, so therefore prefer to use a limited machine that has been trained of a stolen art. So my message is this: if for some reason you think you cannot have the ability to bring to life your ideas, have faith on yourself. Pick up a pen and start drawing. Don't try to do something big, try doing something small. Watch some tutorials on YouTube, put some music and enjoy the process. It will take some time to get there, but I assure you that the path is worth it. And if you are an artist that is about to abandon art because of AI, I want you to know that there is still a future for us. Think about it. In a world full of robots and artificial intelligence, human-made art will be more valuable than ever. By the way, don't hate and don't insult people that use AI. Remember that they support it because of the lack of knowledge, so hating on them will make things worse. We have to educate, showcase, and if that doesn't work, ignore. The only ones that we should hate are the CEOs of these companies that are fully aware of all the scummy stuff that they are doing. So yeah, don't lose your faith in yourself, and I hope you liked the video. Bye!